vibe check. You're rocking with your favorite friendly for entertainer.
Take me back to the beginning. I do it all over and again. Give me something borrowed, something blue. We're still the kids we used to be. Tell me, what are you thinking? Finish your sentence. We could disappear forever. Way off the grid.
Within today's podcast
we start
episode
off as strangers, turn lovers at the speed of a racer. Don't wake me, nobody press the alarm. Stuck in a daydream, a million days and nights. Tell me, do you remember? A million days go by. Baby, will you be mine? Yeah.
Not easy being a PM. Not easy being a PM.
Pretending you know I'll be true. Sunday mornings and midnight lights, turning to songs that you watch me write. Stole your sweat on that night. You took a picture, keep by my bedside. So you're mine when you're gone, baby.
I'm trying to study.
I got my ticket to the west side. You see
all I see is this word stuff.
Remember how much I missed you. Hope you're planning to stay for a million days. You'll be my summer in December. Hey boy, trust my intuitions always. I'm not superstitious. I got my feet. Stole your heart and it was mine for the taking.
Oi, oi. Jack.
Stuck in a daydream.
How are you? I'm steady. I'm balanced.
Will you be mine? Yeah.
Need some motivation. So I have enjoyed some melatonin before the episode.
I don't know what you want. Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall.
What are you reading nowadays?
My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say
is that a science, a practice, a religion, a belief?
My love.
Is that something that you inspire yourself through within the meantime? You've been looking for fingerprints into the face with Jay-Z.
You say you wanna try, but you
if
never
you enjoy a replay,
sugar, there's a reason why
there's a reason to
you say you wanna cry, but
read
you
the
never
room,
do.
stop for a minute,
Sugar,
and rewind,
why we
and within stand, recognize when people are coming at you sideways. Oh, they coming at me?
have a bit of fun till I downfall.
Bye, everyone.
My love,
The tables
if you feel like I do right now,
the tables are turning.
say you're on the run to the other side.
spin is
My
flipping.
love, you
They
say
flipping you
wanna
off.
try, but
Oh, not
you
yet.
never
Not
do.
yet.
Sugar, there's a reason
You know, I
why
don't.
we lose.
You lose. Magenta. To pull my finger.
You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. You say you wanna cry, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose.
Do you ever watch the movie Coco? Chicks are for kids. We all float down here. Are you not entertained? What? Why so serious? What? Why? I do not quit. I don't question myself.
Waiting for the final gates to open.
What's that? Don't you love it whenever you practice the advice of your neighbor, because your neighbors always know what's best. As if that's not the biggest lie. Somebody, there's an interpretation there. You heard us about that way. What is your problem? Shall I run around and grab nobody gonna shoot. Whoever does shoot, got shot from the foot. Oh shit! The foot's laying off shots over here! Let me tell you about entitled brown people for a second, as I craft your intentions. First, let me craft your intentions. Let me, craft your demise.
Those days when things were new. Those days when I had you.
Rick James' voice forever be echoing in my mind. Ennyarodasi, that is that's not just, stock technology. You dare that? I can ride my bike with no handlebars. Did you know? Did you come to get more stupider? Ennyarodasi. Did I just help you dodge bullets? Damn. I didn't know. But I did. I called Olivia Rodriguez. Big Daddy. Got all the Olivia Rodriguez freaking wannabes. Oh! You want to craft to me, engineer craft to me. Who is, ego? They're trying to inflate their ego. What is that song? I thought I saw you try. I think I even saw you cry. Why? The idea that the book is soaked is that it's electronic and you're supposed to marry a woman and name your within marriage. Where Rodrigo? Rodrigo's in the chat. Hey Rodrigo, we're not. We made, with everything Spanish, the similarities and differences within Spaniards and Scottish. And then, as far as like Arabic culture and recognizing the similarities within my name, within my, the structures of my characteristics as a personality, a person, a soul, a deity, a human, and within existing on multiple dimensions, having, slight awareness. Every day. Headphones, if you what is that, a Casio keyboard stand? Stan the man! And welcome to my dress. Nobody hiring air fresheners in India? What a waste of resources within, within stock, stalking is a freaking job with, if you were a hooker. I said hooker, not a sucker, Stan. Why not, some people, died of possible frustrations and their person is this freaking K-pop face. Dancery. Bro dancery. Because I'm wading through, I'm wading through my perfection. And my practice, I'm doing bust into that room real quick, man. We lawless around here. I don't know. Practice because I ate you out. Gustavo's kidding at me. His little freaking vagina stretching out doing the worm. Are you humping the floor or are you attempting a dance move here, couple? There are cakes on this plane! And why today, I recognize the tone of your silence. With or without looking at the screen, maybe a circumstance of you're in utter magic. What do you mean that you know how to make a hard dick sauce? First off, I told you I'll catch you outside. Things of this. You're welcome for me being nice. I'm over here cracking up. Low-key. Hey! There's Stan in the chat. Somebody poke it with a stick to leave this room. Is it real? I don't know. Poke it with a stick. That's what she said. Happy COVID, bitches. Happy still happy day. We don't be still on the same crazy time. You won't go no, yeah. Give me IG. Never mind. Rewind. Recognize you over there noticing, nigga. Super special. Come on, I'm sorry. They don't speak Vietnamese.
When you glance across the room,
what?
like a loaded
You don't speak beauty cream XO2. Dang. Stan? You have the chat saying, you're mentioning, what? Why in the world? Because I lied. Because I learned about abusive moms. Special character over there learned about abusive moms from Jim Carrey. Pretty good Dylan. Right now? DJ Stephen. OMG. You're out of there. What do you mean? I'm trying to be a respectable black man. What do you... Right though? I'm trying to be an entitled brown person. How do I game up, man, whatever, to charm my personality so I can rise in these ranks of brown people? Hooray! I get. Sit there and watch your wife's body surf all day. Goose day slowly, goose day slowly. I don't know. Goose would be questioning all the animals on the farm and there in my life. Right? What you mean, COVID? Are you my mommy? Are you my mommy? Yeah. Oh, you just have to deal with a little bit of body surfing. Well, I'm sorry. So. Think that, you think that, are they wrong? They are making the party. They're enhancing the party. Go on with your bad self. Me, I am good over here to guide you to go on. Me, I'm, to represent the beauty cream, cash rules everything around me. Scream with the money, dollar bill, y'all. Special, and with your special Mexican, ennyarodasi, aka DJ ennyarodasi. It's an XO2 cream. So, as far as, you and everybody, feeling so entitled to my time through recognizing the fact that, I'm equal with those that I share my time with. And I'm sure that you feel the same way there, sirs. Sirs and ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls, and, people of all ages. If you can't distinguish the, am I talking to myself? Maybe sometimes I lecture myself and I just reflect it on you. Maybe the timing, ends up perfect. Within your solutions. Sense of identity, recognizing recognition, and recognizing recognitions because I respond to a, what is the difference between cheating on your wife and body surfing all day, you know, or crowd surfing all day, you know, just having the essence and hands of random people, you know, touch all on your body, and you're like, yeah, you know, I'm good myself, thank you. I'm sure you know that saying, the right one will come along. You know, I don't know. Then you know, for me as I'm peachy. Thank you. How are you? I would imagine it. To fingers. Figure it. Now understand this. If you don't vote for Pedro, I'm fucking coming for you. Oh, he's not voting for Pedro? Then don't fucking sit in here and tell me every fucking reason why you don't fucking trust me then. Alright. Oh, we're over that. It wasn't supposed to be that way. That's what he's thinking. I know. I recognize that. And, oh, so you recognize you gonna lead the blind? Yeah, great job there, doofus. I know. Don't sit here. I don't know if I can. I better be recognizing you things that I better be mentioning things and stuff and such. You know, you did it. Because you know, to steal your sense of entitlement may just be to create a better life. Better, you know this. But hey, there's a special character. Ain't nobody touching the fucking essence of hysteria. Ain't nobody touching Pedro. Sorry, Pedro will fuck you up. Yeah, free Palestine. You know, Palestine be rocking the same colors as the Mexican flag. And that Sudan and Chad. I didn't recognize the fact that, you know, these rebels I be loving you with scribbles, maybe. Okay. Ennyarodasi. Who's ennyarodasi when? These are too loud. Whenever you fall in love with an idea before you are lyrically sound in mind to enjoy the facets, you know, within geometry. I don't know if you can hear me. That was yeah. It reminds me of that Pretty Ricky song. And then if you were to, you know, to distort and discombobulate the things that, you know, things and stuff and such. Hey, you know, recognize that, you know, things and stuff. You know, I forgive myself because I have to forgive. I have to we shall learn every day, every episode, with an extra regards to biases within time and space. Within, practice, sometimes more than words. Oh! I remember, you remember. Today is a special day, and we're gonna share some special episodes. And
to impress her, it's too damn hard. To stay loyal without going too far. If I see her, then promise I won't
Yikes, why? I know. Una princesa.
it's too damn hard. To stay loyal without going too far. If I see her,
Because of my cannon. Did I say that? I believe
she
in
wasn't
myself.
back tonight, and I don't know about
Beyond,
my money's
the...
on the night. It takes
Oh,
away like
you meant,
I
the...
do.
I know, I
Going
know.
out of her eyes.
Yeah, tell somebody else about it, because your neighbor has all the solutions.
Or change your mind.
Ah!
We'll talk about it later on. From seeing the sights, there's something wonderful in art about the escape and how you want me to be gone. You want that escape, and impressing her is just so damn hard.
Alright, no one cares. Alright, I'm drinking Linden tea over here. Lethan, you Lethan!
Can't promise I won't.
Ah! Seriously! How about, oh man, I think who got on that day be trying to baptize people in the streets? I don't know. Religion left.
She doesn't come back much.
Are you this
Misses her like I do. I hope she's having fun, doing what she wants to, and send a postcard to
me?
from the
Great.
States sometime.
Ennyarodasi.
To impress her, it's just too damn hard.
Yeah, I don't live my life to impress people. And if I do impress people, I, must recognize years after the fact that I'm, I question everything. And I question everything I wishes.
Tell me, were you ever really here at all? Lost my balance.
Wish.
Rain is
Being
pouring.
to ask.
Holding on to nothing ever breaks the
And
fall. But then we lost it.
In other words, never forget the severity of the times that we are living in today, currently. And within your stance of imagination, within your stance of exaltation, within your stance of entitlement, within your stance of expectations, your stance of regards, your stance of, lack of understanding would be lack of practice. If you're not practicing exactly what you are studying, then you must practice within your perspective and your understanding. Now, to practice within your perspective and understanding, within interpolation, really brings the understanding, it only goes so far, things and stuff and such. Without, without and with regard, with and without regards, within certain facets of understanding. Now, within language, I must highlight the essence of facet. Alright, facet, arthropathy. I send you facet arthropathy for my defining that for you. Stiggity. Facet. There's facetious. Now, where's my facetious? Facetious is an adjective within, to defined as treating serious issues with deliberately inappropriate humor. A tongue-in-cheek jocular, a tongue-in-cheek roguish. Also similar to mischievous and whimsical. And playful and frivolous. Alright, so facetious, facets, for those that question reality, face, facetious. One side of something that is many-sided, especially of a cut gem. So, within feature, to fill, would be to slant, to angle, to plane, to side, and to surface within the facet definition. Within, a cut gem would be filled to within its perfection. Things, there's within zoology, any of the individual units, there's a Matilda. Facetious. Oh, you know yourself so good. Very, very good. Very, very good. Ennyarodasi. You shall never, and not never. Things in seven touch. At people. Facetious. Facet. F-A-C. Eatman. E-T. F-A-C-E-T. Within the zoology definition, Matilda. Alright, so past that. Alright, let's look up Matilda. Matilda. That was not the freaking that. Alright. Cool. For you. Whatever that was. Now, babies and children, as you learn how to properly, truly properly treat serious issues with inappropriate humor within treating, serious issues deliberately, as you may interpret as humor, others may interpret as deliberately inappropriate within your spatial surroundings, within recognition, and within your regards to the structure of family, the structure of community, the structure of superiority, within focus and accountability. There are many deliberately wasting of precious time would be to waste your own fucking precious time, and to recognize the difference and the similarities between our stance, our similar stances, especially, within personal recognition. Hey, hello, I recognize what I do. Don't get high on your own supply there, buddy. So as far as professionalism and delegating, both sides of the freaking things and stuff and such, because, excuse me, who are you to, not be proactive? Oh, you are being proactive within your solutions. So how about you can, agree to disagree there, buddy, because not everybody has same understandings, and within recognizing, oh, you're from Sarasota? Cool. I'm from I'll snare your soda. So watch how you decide to attempt to interact with me within third party recognizing, and let's schedule a restart within, recognizing that you, sir and gentlemen, have failed to install correct updates within your sense of convenience. So if your PC isn't available within your scheduled time, Windows will automatically find a good time for the restart, within all fairness. Sincerely, engage in what? Engage in letting me tickle your fancy as you engage in deliberate acts of misconduct, as far as deliberate mentions of mending immorality with immaturity is not the kind of generation that I would stand for. Recognizing and lacking to recognize, and highlighting within your own stance of adapting to your surroundings there, bucko. What you mean there, bucko? Things and stuff and such. Don't you dare question my relationship with myself, because I'm not you. And so never compare yourself, comparatively speaking, from your judging from your comparative fingertips to your comparative perspective and your comparative stance within how is it that I am adding to the betterness of your life, and piece to me where within the systems that have been created within all, within all facets of religion, religiously speaking, within tradition, traditionally speaking, within simplicities, within recognizing, that it is the small things that matter. And your overreaction within a social standard, social status. Forgive me for knowing, having a regards for your ego and making sure, your feelings are not hurt. Because if they were, there would be at least 5 red flags for you to piece together, try to, within consoling your cucumbers for your obstinance, for your insolence, and for your lack of having some forward regards. Not understanding what forward regards is not my problem, and should never ever be my problem to recognize, to notice, and to enjoy within my practice. However, you want to try to maybe break me down for, having an opinion within, am I the peasant or are you the peasant there, billionaire? And to recognize that, I'm not scared of my success, and I'm sure as heck not scared of the success of others, because I have been here tickling your fancy the whole time. So within my perspective, there's definitely recognized growing up that has to be, accomplished. And if it's not within however I naturally best suited within regards and stances, how would I recognize that if I did not have the time and the tolerance to test my own patience as far as coexisting there and around? And Olivia would agree. To take him seriously would be to recognize where I have bushwhacked for him, whoever him is, because it is his panic. I am his panic. And his panic being my own. I am my own panic. So to regard myself, thank God and thank goodness for particularities within, constructive criticism, that we would be guided as constructive criticism. I would recognize within the fact that, how are we going to mention COVID within every, platform that utilizes the same fiber optics and CC television type understanding as far as rhetoric and things and stuff and such. And, that's just to merely notice. Within proud delegations, and understanding that sometimes proud delegations can often be mistranslated with it, 5 ways to Sunday, but we all recognize that it is our enjoyment of, our day and, our walk and our ideas within things and stuff and such, and then things and stuff and such. Impatience. The most tolerant or the most taller than? How in the world could a gift be considered humiliating? I don't know. I don't know how I could piece that together, Stan. Physically, because Stan deserves a hug. I give Stan a lot of attention. Too much attention, ennyarodasi. Leslie and Joy, let him beef with it. Oh, you want Jay-Z Jr. had a bomb strapped to it. Oh, so he wants me to mention the Bonnie and Clyde episode. Dudes and dudettes, LOL. How do you subscribe? Do ya? What else? What are we studying today? I have not. As a matter of fact.
The makeup and the dresses are familiar to anyone who knows Mexican culture. The quinceaños, a big party where families present their girls to the world at their 15th birthday. But this one's different. These girls are heading not to a dance hall, but to Mexico City's women's prison in Santa Marta, Acatitla, to celebrate with their jailed mothers. It's an event that NGO Alas de Amor organises with prison authorities. The entrance is triumphant, and then the reunions, and the tears.
Being here with them is a gift, a blessing for the family. My daughter looked beautiful. I couldn't control myself. I started crying. It's my boy and girl here, and to celebrate both of them together, it's just wow.
Daniela Estrella's daughter said she hadn't seen her mum for 2 years.
I feel very emotional. I don't know, the tears keep coming. It's like a dream that I wanted. I wanted my mom with me, and I like the way she looks, so happy. Her face looks content.
On both sides, the parents and teenagers here have worked hard to take part. The mums take on extra work in prison and have to show good behaviour. The daughters and sons need to get good grades. Both parties have to send a letter saying why this is important to them. If they're successful, they can bring 6 family members with them. The quinceaños celebration in Mexico is not just important for the birthday girl, but for the whole family to get together and reconnect. And that's what this event is trying to offer, just for a few hours in a really difficult situation. It's not all pink clouds and happiness. There are strong emotions to work through too, recriminations at times. But at least these parents and adolescents are getting a brief chance to do it together. John Holman, Al Jazeera, Mexico City.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.
Federal judges and judicial workers across Mexico are on strike. That's because President Andrés Manuel López Obrador is trying to overhaul the justice system. Specifically, he wants to replace the entire Supreme Court and then pick a new set of justices along with 1,600 other federal judges and magistrates. And he wants to do it by popular vote. He says it will clear out dodgy judges.
Y lo que queremos es corregir.
What we want to do is correct and disappear corruption, above all at the top level, judges and justices. Not all, but many of them let organised crime figures and white-collar criminals go free.
But Mexican judges say that putting positions up for vote risks the independence of the judiciary.
This means that everyone in the judiciary will have to go on campaign to become a judge. To be independent and be able to judge someone, I have to be in a position completely isolated from the centre of power in the country. And right now, it's the other way around. They're putting us closer to the world of power, business, political parties.
But most people believe that Mexico's justice system does need change. Almost half of Mexicans say they have little or very little confidence in the justice authorities, and you can see the banners of protest against the Supreme Court, which were just outside. But in what seems like a failed system, is it really the judges that are the problem? Not so, says Tyler Matiachi from Human Rights Watch.
The main problem in Mexico's justice system isn't that judges are corrupt, it's not that courts are corrupt, it's that Mexican prosecutors, who are supposed to investigate and prosecute all crimes, are just not very good at investigating and prosecuting crimes. Only around 10% of all of the investigations that are opened every year actually lead to criminal charges before the court. Only around 10% of those cases, so 1% of all of the cases, actually lead to a trial. And the vast majority of investigations, even into really serious crimes like homicides, disappearances, human rights abuses, are just archived or closed without being solved.
It's also noticeable that the Supreme Court, which the President wants to replace, has been one of the few institutions that has provided opposition to his plans. Now he looks to have the congressional majority he needs to change them out, in a vote expected before his term ends this October. John Holman, Al Jazeera, Mexico City.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news.
Hurricane Beryl slammed Montego Bay as a Category 4 storm, the strongest to hit the island in more than a decade. It pummeled
A small army of urban artists is changing the face of one of Mexico City's poorest and most violent neighborhoods.
Hurricane Beryl slammed Montego Bay as a Category 4 storm, the strongest to hit the island in more than a decade. It pummeled communities with intense winds and rain, knocking out power to hundreds of thousands of households and flooding roads and buildings. Then, just as quickly as it arrived, Beryl moved on.
I'm trying to keep calm because I have my son, as well as if anyone else in the community or around me needs help. I'm just trying to keep calm, but I am anxious and a bit scared.
The Cayman Islands and Mexico are braced to be next. On Grand Cayman, businesses are closed and hotels have activated emergency plans. Evacuation flights have already ferried more than 1,000 people to safety. Beryl is expected to dump 100 millimeters of rain on the islands. Mexico's popular Yucatan Peninsula is also in its path. Cancun's airport filled with tourists hoping to catch the last flights out.
At first they said it was a Category 1, then it was going to take another route, and now they're saying it's coming and it'll land tomorrow.
Beach resorts and restaurants are boarded up. The Army, Air Force, and National Guard have been placed on standby, and people are stocking up on supplies. Even protected sea turtle eggs are being moved to safety. 10,000 of them have been relocated from Cancun's beaches. Authorities are urging visitors to pay attention to their alerts.
If we say go to a shelter, we aren't doing it to be a nuisance, we're doing it to keep people safe. Right now, a lot of tourists can still reschedule their flights to leave. Many of them aren't doing it, they're waiting.
Beryl's made history as the most powerful storm to form in the Atlantic this early in the year. Meteorologists say that's because of above-average ocean temperatures due to climate change. And they're warning of even stronger storms to come in what's on track to be a record-breaking hurricane season. Alexandra Byers, Al Jazeera.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.
A small army of urban artists is changing the face of one of Mexico City's poorest and most violent neighborhoods. More than 11,000 of these murals now adorn the streets and roofs of Iztapalapa. The government-funded program is part of a larger project to make the area safer and more attractive. 35-year-old Arameo has painted dozens of murals here, depicting issues of women's empowerment to scenes from Mexican history. She's putting the finishing touches on one of her favorite works so far, a piece celebrating the creativity of childhood.
Iztapalapa Mural.
Iztapalapa Mural is a project that tries to involve the local community, to listen to them, to rescue themes that need visibility. Why? Because there are so many stories of local neighbors, the history of this town that need telling. Iztapalapa is not just violence, there is a great history here.
And so, local heroes now line the streets. A beloved vet, his patients, an elderly couple.
As the project has grown and the murals are more and more visible, residents in these communities are increasingly eager to have a bit of their own personal stories on public display. We're told currently there's hundreds of requests from local neighbors to have their murals painted.
8-year-old Luciana got her wish when she caught the eye of an artist painting nearby. Her image now covers an entire wall right outside her bedroom window, and she couldn't be happier.
Me encanta porque antes aquí todo esto.
I love it. All this used to be white or gray. It was ugly, but now it's prettier. It's happier, more colorful. I wake up and say, wow, what a beautiful place.
While it's hard to draw a line between the murals and the security situation in this district of 2 million people, those involved in the project say its popularity speaks for itself.
It's one of the most visible projects we've had, and frankly, when people walk by the murals, they feel safer, and now they don't have to go to a museum and pay to see art. They have a free open-air gallery right in their neighborhood.
Residents of Iztapalapa know it will take more than painting their walls to bring lasting change to their neighborhood, but the murals have had an important effect, making a marginalized community feel seen again. Julia Galliano, Al Jazeera, Mexico City.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.
In Mexico, tacos are everywhere. As quintessential to this country's culture as mariachis, tequila, and piñatas, there are tens of thousands of taco stands and restaurants across the country. Now, this popular staple is also the recipient of a Michelin star. This taco stand on an otherwise nondescript Mexico City street was recently awarded the prize, which has catapulted it to fame. Hours-long lines now form every day to get a taste. But for taco lovers like Tamara de Anda, the newfound fame is just a distraction from the main event, the taco itself.
Dos taquitos de michote, por favor.
For people who have no idea, very briefly, describe what is a taco.
Briefly? Okay, a taco is a tortilla with something on it. Okay. But a tortilla, this is very important, is this Mexican corn product that is super nutritious, is the base of our diet.
How many types of tacos would you say there are?
Tacos de canasta, tacos de pastor, tacos de carnitas. It's endless, yeah. And then we have very specific tacos like the organ tacos, let's say like tribe tacos and brain tacos and...
Something for everyone. But Pedro Reyes, a food writer and partner at a local taqueria, thinks Mexicans' love for tacos runs deeper than the palate.
It's definitely an identity symbol that says a lot about your culture, about your place, your hometown, or different cultures around Mexico.
Back on the street, Tamara takes us to another one of her favorites, this time in a more formal setting, highlighting the versatility of this dish.
Do you think tacos are one of the few things that Mexican society enjoys across all social classes?
Now it is, but it's something new. Since the beginning of street food in general, which obviously included tacos in the 19th century, the elites were like, oh, that's unhygienic and bad for the streets. And actually all these corn products and spicy food is to blame for the underdevelopment of the country.
Michelin star or not, when it comes to this country's signature food, Mexicans and visitors alike can't get enough. Julia Galliano, Al Jazeera, Mexico City.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.
The colonial city of Zacatecas is a World Heritage Site, but its beauty, like that of so many parts of Mexico, has been overshadowed by one of the most cruel forms of violence. Nearly 115,000 people in Mexico have disappeared unwillingly, according to the National Register of Disappeared and Unfound People. More than 11,000 last year alone. Here in Zacatecas, there's been a wave of kidnappings of young men between the age of 14 and 28, believed to be forcibly recruited by organized crime groups. For the last 5 years, Elizabeth Araiza has been searching for her brother, Jose Nicanor, a mechanic who went out to fix a car one morning and never came back.
We went to our first dance together. The first time we bought a drink was together. He accompanied me to buy my wedding dress and to get my fertility treatments. We were very close, more than any other sibling.
Armed men grabbed and murdered her father because he was searching for his son. And, like many family members, she's been threatened. In the cemetery of Fresnillo, the unidentified bodies of hundreds of presumed victims of unwilling disappearances lie in these cement pits. Up to 9 bodies fit in these tombs. Each has a number and a date. None have a name. The State Attorney's Office and Forensic Scientist Department of Zacatecas has set up a system to help families identify bodies they've found. Many are burnt or decomposed beyond recognition, but photos of tattoos and clothes are proving useful. The special prosecutor insists they're making progress.
We search. We do everything so that murders are punished. If the culprit of a disappearance is found, the person is tried and sentenced accordingly.
Perhaps. But 99% of disappearances in Mexico go unpunished, according to Zero Impunity, a respected NGO. And the number of bodies found is minute compared to the countless searches for clandestine graves that desperate families carry out constantly. Neither of the two leading candidates for Sunday's presidential elections seems to have a plan to tackle this drama. This as authorities run out of room for bodies they do find but can't identify. What you see here is the new Center for the Temporary Burial of Unidentified People here in Zacatecas. There are a total of 1,336 of these. Just here alone, each one will hold a casket, but it's not all. There'll be another 800 built here very shortly, and there will be a total of 3,000. If anything, this is an indication that not just the state of Zacatecas, but Mexico is not expecting this crisis to end anytime soon. A crisis that's reached unheard of proportions for a country that, at least in theory, is not at war. Lucia Newman, Al Jazeera, Zacatecas.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.
Yet another episode of political violence in Mexico, this one caught on camera. It's dogged the election campaign from the start. In the western state of Michoacán, rodeos always draw large crowds of local farmers. It's an ideal venue for state Congress candidate Mónica Ferreira to ask for voters' support. This man gives her his blessing, a symbol of protection she feels she needs.
I'm afraid for my children. I'm afraid for my life, because the dangers are great. But even though I ask for government protection, so far I don't have a single policeman by my side.
Nearly 40 candidates and 14 family members have been killed in the deadliest campaign in recent Mexican history. Most of the victims were running for mayor and other local offices, positions wanted by corrupt politicians and organized crime.
Is that they take control of the office, and they can buy the candidate and all the candidates. I mean, it's very easily financed by illegal forces, no? I mean.
René Valencia leads a movement called Citizens Revolution. It tracks down kidnappers and other criminals with information provided by ordinary citizens. Now that he's running for mayor of Michoacán's capital, Morelia, he has 24-hour government protection. He also has his own private security and an armored car. Heading to a rally, he tells me that state corruption feeds Mexico's crime epidemic.
The state has the means to stop this, but doesn't want to combat crime because it generates dividends. It generates profits, bribes, money. A delinquent generates money for the authorities, while a victim is just a statistic.
He tells supporters that with their vote, he can help change things. Even though he's running under the banner of what many claim to be as one of Mexico's most corrupt parties. Wealthy land and business owners, politicians, and organized crime who are trying to threaten or eliminate candidates all have something in common, and that is a long, long history of corruption, which generally guarantees impunity. President Andrés Manuel López Obrador insists that stability is guaranteed, despite the electoral violence.
And it's very much associated with our elites. This is the way they understood how to govern a country. Political stability is above anything else. Human rights, corruption. So you always play the corruption card because you want to preserve political stability.
It's almost a tradition as old as this religious parade. Yet, with the state under attack by criminal forces as never before, Mexico's next president may find that corruption is too high a price to pay for the illusion of stability. Lucia Newman, Al Jazeera, Michoacán.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.
He's ending on a high. Andrés Manuel López Obrador will leave office in a month with the highest end-of-term approval ratings of any Mexican president since the advent of democracy. Social programs and benefits for the poor remain the bedrock of the president, often known by his initials as AMLO's popularity.
AMLO has increased the minimum salary by 120% over inflation. He has set forward and pushed forward several social programs, including Sowing Life, Youth Creating the Future, put more money in people's pockets.
AMLO's also pushed public projects like a tourist train, refinery and an interoceanic corridor in the south. Critics say they're over-budget white elephants, but for frequently overlooked communities, they've provided investment and jobs. But it's perhaps his everyman persona, which his supporters can tune into in his daily morning press conference called La Mañanera, which is the president's greatest asset.
People believe him because he knows Mexico, even the way he speaks, even the velocity in which he speaks, right? It resonates with the majority of Mexicans.
But beyond that, there are issues. AMLO's been severely criticised, most pointedly for trying to reduce the checks and balances on his own power. He's gone after civil society organisations, sometimes quite viciously. He's trying to overhaul the judiciary and to shut down the Freedom of Information Institute. And all of that, his critics say, is dangerous not just for now, but for the future of what is still a young and delicate democracy. Particularly AMLO's proposed judicial reform has attracted protests. Critics say his plans to elect judges by popular vote and lower the qualifications and experience needed for the posts risk politicising them. Mexicans Against Corruption is one of the NGOs that AMLO's repeatedly attacked more than 200 times in his morning press conference.
What is the legacy of this government?
I know enough about it. So, as y'all, as you all work. I'm working over here. I'm working. Can't things though. Spin flip. So, this is where ready? Spin! Flip it understanding. You know, there are those that can make any soap opera look boring. These books include The First Passover. Now, mind you, you recognize these books. You shall. There's the crossing of the Red Sea and the first messianic promises, the binding of Isaac, and so much more. Also included in the 5 books of Moses is the giving of the law from Mount Sinai. Although the temple was not yet built, there was only a traveling tabernacle. The system of sacrifices that was instituted within the 5 books of Moses and played a very important part in the religious life of Jewish people. There were also some great ideas and themes presented for the first time in the 5 books of Moses. Included hints about the characters. The characters of God, His love, His holiness, His holy power, and glory. The creation of Adam and Eve and their disobedience to God's command, resulting in their banishment from the ideal place God created for them. And it became the basis for one of the most important parts of the Bible's storyline. Although the first man and woman had everything, they were tempted and they rebelled against God. This is one of the great running themes in the Bible. God blessing humankind, and then, unfortunately, us tending to turn our backs on Him. In fact, the whole rest of the Bible story focuses on God's efforts to rescue and redeem humankind so that His creation would fulfill the destiny He desired for us. The Passover story becomes the paradigm for the story of the redemption of an all-powerful God promised to save the Jewish people and deliver them from the bondage of slavery and set them free to live in the land that He had promised to them. This becomes a motif for salvation, which is commonly used, yet little understood. Is the little understood term. Fundamentally, salvation means to be set free from bondage, to live in spiritual freedom, and within your understanding of God's spiritual freedom, within your life and God's promises for you and all of your presences. Presence, as stated as thank you for being present of mind. As the Bible tells the story of the creation of the Jewish people. Author described the calling of Abraham, the promise of the nation and the land, the forming of the national identity in Egypt, and the brave assurance that although the nation would go through difficulty, the mighty ennyarodasi. God would uphold His people. Nothing in heaven or on earth could keep God from fulfilling His promise. The historical books, beginning with Joshua, tell the story of conquering of the land of Israel. And the building of a nation. The conquering of the land of Israel and building a nation, they speak about the establishment of a Davidic dynasty that would endure forever. This is the reason why Jewish people traditionally believe that the Messiah will be a descendant of King David, and even that he would be born in David's ancestral town of Bethlehem. The historical books tell how the Jewish people went from a tribal community to a nation that subjugated people to return to their homeland. Of course, not all of Jewish people returned to the land of Israel after the Babylonian captivity. the powerful Assyrian nation, whose capital was Nineveh. Remember the story of Jonah attacked the northern tribe of Israel following the reign of David's son Solomon. And there had been a split in the nation, and the 10 tribes were allegedly lost. The Assyrians, as was their customs, the conquered people had took and scattered them throughout their empire in order to diminish their identity, to prevent rebellions. After the destruction of the northern kingdom, the historical books turned to the southern kingdom with the focus on its capital city, Jerusalem. The temple that Solomon had built was destroyed in 586 BCE. Some decades later, by permission of the Persian ruler, it was rebuilt only to be destroyed again in 70 CE by the Romans, and the historical books span approximately 600 years from the establishment of David's kingdom around the year 1000 BCE until the return to Jerusalem under Ezra and Nehemiah in the mid-5th century BCE. Even though the prophets section of the Bible is separate from the historical books, so we must understand that the prophets lived during the years described in the historical books, and the prophets were divided into 2 categories: the major prophets and the minor prophets. And the major prophets included Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, and Daniel. Though in some traditions the latter is viewed as minor prophets, or even as a part of the historical books, there were 12 minor prophets, as well as the addition to other prophets who didn't have entire books named after them. The major theme as the prophets is, in many ways, the major theme of the Bible. The prophets were God's messengers to Israel, calling upon the people to repent, to turn from their rebellious ways, and to return to God. It is incorrect to think that the chief role of prophets was to predict the future. The prophets certainly did predict the future. Even more importantly, they challenged those. But even more importantly, they had challenged those who were listening to them to participate in God's purpose in changing the present. One of the best illustrations of this is in the book of Jonah, where the prophet was sent to Nineveh to call upon the Assyrians to repent their sins. They actually did repent, thus averting God's wrath. So within my flipping of that understanding, that would be
Mm.